The fishermen that I spoke to today, and as I've got to know more about the fishing issues here, it's stunning to think that we have in our country and in our waters 40% of the catch for the European Union and 4% of the quota for our fishermen. And if that's not bad enough, you'd say, well, okay. Well, you wouldn't say okay, but take that as a given for a moment. Why then is that catch and its value, which has real monetary value, this stuff, the catch that's been landed here by foreign trawlers and fishermen being trucked out of Killybegs and out of other ports across Europe, fish caught in our seas, why isn't the value of those, the monetary value of those, being included in our contribution as we tally up the figures for who gets what out of the European Union, what Ireland gives and what Ireland... The arrogance is breathtaking. It's breathtaking. The arrogance of people who will tell us we didn't know what we were doing and who will send people to Brussels to negotiate a deal on fisheries where we have 40% of the catch and 4% of the quota. Unbelievable. Not even getting the same farm gate prices for their agricultural produce today that they were getting 25 years ago. Show me a solicitor in this country who will charge you the same price that they were charging people 25 years ago. There isn't one. And yet, Jim Higgins, Fianna Gael, Fianna Fáil, Marion Harkin, the whole lot of them, they think CAP is great for fun. I read in the paper yesterday that apparently we're going to be propping up developers that would otherwise go out of business. I mean, we do have bankruptcy laws for these things to allow for the process to take care of itself. And who are the last people to get bailed out or helped out of their debt crisis? The banks? No. You. Your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents. Last in the pecking order. Nobody's come along and asked you if you need a hand to renegotiate with Visa the credit card bill that you're struggling to pay. Or the mortgage that your kids are sweating over and losing sleep over every night because they don't know how they're going to make the payment next month. Because one of them's lost a job and the other one is at risk of losing a job. They come last. And what Libertas is all about is inversing that relationship and putting them first. Putting people back on top of the pile and having government, whether it exists in Dublin or in Brussels, understand that it is for the people that they work and it is the people that they serve, not themselves. To know who's asking for the regulation and laws that are coming out of Brussels. Did anybody in this room ask for a regulation from Brussels last year? Okay. No, I haven't met anyone that has it. There must be lots and lots of them. There must be lots of them. But I haven't met anyone in any public meeting yet that was asking. We have to make this thing in Brussels accountable to us. Because I'm a pro-European. I want the European Union to work. I recognise that the European Union has been many things, amongst them being arguably one of the most successful, if not the most successful, peace process in the history of the world. Now, it didn't do it on its own. There were other components to the peace that came across Europe and has been so successful since the end of the Second World War. But the European project has been part of that. The coal and steel community, the European communities, the Treaty of Rome, and everything that came after it. The fact that we're not killing each other in the millions across Europe and across battlefields and across this continent is something of a miracle to really be in that process very effectively in this country when we delivered that no vote to the Lisbon Treaty. We sent a strong democratic message. And just in case we weren't sure, just in case we might have been wrong in thinking that there was something wrong, in Brussels that there was a democratic deficit. I mean, just in case we were wrong, they let us know, no, actually you're right. How did they let us know? It's a tyranny of mediocrity, of low expectations, of a lack of faith and trust in people to understand or want to support or believe in anything. And why is that so? Why did these so-called leaders inflict this on us? And I think it's because they actually don't really believe in themselves anymore. I think we have been saddled across Europe with a culture of career politics where people sometimes forget, and there are noble exceptions to this, they forget why they went there in the first place. And that's not a Europe that anyone's going to get excited about, and it's certainly not a Europe that's going to be able to lead the world to a place worth going to. And as an Irishman who loves his country, who is a patriot and who is proud of it, I can also look to Europe and I say, I want to be a European patriot as well. That's not against me being an Irishman. It's okay, I can be part of this thing. But show me something to believe in. Show me a future. Show me a vision. Show me the path of where we are going. Don't try and drag me backwards through a bush to a destination that I don't understand and that I can't see, and just expect me to sit there and trust you that you're doing the right thing. Especially when I can't name even one person responsible for initiating the majority of laws in my country over the last year. And until we have vision that's set out, that's honest and upfront and tells people where we're going, until we have leaders worthy of the name who will be honest with the people and tell them what this is about and the direction that we're going in, because I think people will rise to a calling worth following. I think they will. But people have got to be honest. They've not got to try and hide the agenda within 500 pages of gobbledygook, as Ulrich Macavatti correctly called it. They've got to play it straight with you. If we're going to have this treaty, this constitution, why can't it be 25 pages, upfront and honest, so we can all read it and understand and then get a vote one way or the other, right across Europe? What are they afraid of? They're afraid of you. They don't trust you. They think you're too stupid to understand. They think that you are not capable of processing a good idea and wanting to follow it. What they don't understand is the only place that Ireland and Europe are going to build a solid future from is if we can light that flame inside people's souls and find within ourselves the ability to create a new renaissance across Europe. It's been hundreds of years since we've done one of those things. What was it that made people like Christopher Columbus step off terra firma and onto a ship and sail for the edge of the world to do great things? What was that spirit? What was the spirit that took Irish monks across Europe to bring civilization back to Europe at the end of the Dark Ages? What was it? We have to rediscover that again. And I think we can. And I think out of the West, democracy, freedom, the idea of the individual, decency, out of the West, out of Donegal, Mayo, Galway, Roscommon, Clare, Westmeath, Monaghan, Cavan, out of the West, out of Ireland. That message has come and is coming to Europe, and I think it's a message that they will heed. And this is our calling.